guys, it is me, Kijiko of Rights, and I deeply apologize if I have not recorded in quite some time. During all these days, I had a lot of fun with my family members, but now it's time for me to tell you guys about something. Well, I thought about this for like quite some time. I've known this YouTuber named Favor My Saber for quite a long time. And the thing is that there is a truth between me and about my own passion between what Saber has done with the role plays that actually will change things forever. So have you guys ever known the fact that Saber and Lucas show the same characters that people put in comments? I mean, I've known this. I've read people's comments before, and I've done some investigating with stuff like that as well. And the thing is, my own creativity between the fact that I've created my own Steve characters that are much different than the 7 colors like this one. This one right here, this banner right here, as you can see, that it has similarities with the globe badge, with the globe. And the wisdom one has the same thing as well. Does this mean I create my own creativity as well that's in public? Well, the thing is, I'm not gonna say what it is yet because I don't want to be charged copyright. I don't want people to think that, oh my gosh, you didn't do it. So that's why I'm not telling exactly what characters are that I cause to be in the future. But the thing is that here's how it all started. So how it started is that I started by watching Saber's videos for the first time. At first, I've been seeing his own Steve Saga videos back in 2017, I think. Rather in 2017 or 2018. Back in those times as well, I'd never even seen the Steve Saga before I started watching his videos. But once I started watching them, I started watching the Steve Saga videos. As time grew on, more and more, the more videos I've seen, the more I've became fascinated by its videos of all the characters in it, including the stories along in it. So one day I decided that why not bring my own characters to life on a comment, when I used to do comments. So I came up with a lot of ideas. And one comment in his friend's channel known as the L-Spike, his old channel, before it got deleted by Lucas himself. And his own Steve Saga videos got deleted as well. And the thing is, during that time, I came up with so many ideas that time that I forgot about it in the process. I mean, would you guys go through the same thing if you come up with a lot of ideas? I mean, I bet that any person can go through a time when they forget something that that happened or they actually have done in the first place before it comes back to their minds in the future or in the present time. And for a long time, I've never even known that my own creativity was being shown by Saber and Lucas out in public before I started to remember the exact times as well. But I'm not going to say which ideas I made up because the information is classified right now until December can admit it. The reason why is because I don't want to be charged of copyright with something that I didn't do wrong. You know what I mean? So let's talk about the fact about my abilities. What are my abilities? The characteristic me's abilities, and how did I use them? And what creations did I use? What creations did I create in the future? Let's talk about the future, which is the present now of my character, which is the characteristic me. So it all started back then, during a time when I was watching a movie called Legend of the Guardians. It's about, well, the movie's about like a bunch of guardians from that are mythicals from different holidays, like Halloween, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, and most about the Tooth Fairy as well. They even have a dream man, a man that creates like dreams with some sort of like mystical sand powers that is like yellowish. And I really loved like the sand powers as well, and I created my own sand power. By the time it was just like different. When my sand powers were purple and pink because they're two of my favorite colors, and I used that to change the color and to make my own sand powers. And back then, I can only do other things like create sand bunnies and like create a sword as well. And it's quite the story with that. I do common things as well. But then as time passed on, after that, my powers were, after I moved from a different house, my powers were forgotten for God knows how long. After quite some time, once I started watching Saber's videos, I remember the powers that I've created in the first place, and I started to think to my head of using them again, and also by upgrading it too. So not only it helps me go into people's dreams, and well, it helps them create dreams, but it also creates more than just that. Something that's different, some power that no one's ever seen before. This power can create something in my mind, like including like living beings that no one's ever seen before, as well. A lot of things as well. And this banner right here, like presents the character me. It presents like the fact that I have more than one powers. Like the thing is, I'm a beyond imaginer. I'm the first imaginer to exist. I call myself an imaginer, but before that, I call myself a gacha. Like I got that from the gacha game that people used to record gacha videos on YouTube and TikToks. And the fact that I didn't want to use that name anymore, I once decided to call it something different, something brand new. So, because of the imagination that I bring up, I call myself in characters that have the same powers as me, Imaginers. As time grew on, I upgraded my own character to a clock face and like a rainbow cloak, including a cape attached to my cloak that has the same colors and same like decorations as this banner right here. And the thing is, I'm the queen of my own people. I'm the queen of the Imaginers. Before then, like I made up a Rainbow Quest story where I was with the 7 kings. Well, the 7 leaders, as you say, in the Rainbow Quest story. And they decided to make me the leader of my own people because they thought like there might be more of me out there. But the thing is, I was the only one. I was the only Imaginer that was there. And the story got upset because of the fact that I'm the only one. The leaders were upset for me because the fact that I was the only Imaginer at that time. But then, the young leader came up with an idea. It took a needle out and took my DNA and took his and told me, why not you create your own people? I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, you create your own beings before. You have such a strong immense power. I have no doubt you can use it to create your own people. That's when the idea came in. I created my own people as well. But first, I created the single color ones. Now, whatever color they choose, that are basically 7 colors, they have the exact power, but more powerful than the 7 Steves, as these ones. Especially other type of powers of other colors that don't exist in the Rainbow Quest world, that exist in different multiverses. For example, like the Steve saga. And also, other places. But the thing is, like, some of it can be classified for copyright reasons. And the thing is, like, I also created imaginers that can change color, like whenever they see a color, or feel it, or touch it, or think about it. They create whatever they want with their own powers as well. What they look like is White Steve's and Alex's, or different players that actually have that kind of power. And what they use it for is to change their colors of different meanings of the colors, especially different ores too. The rarest single imaginers are the ore ones, but the most rarest is the single beyond one. Beyond imaginers don't just have the power of imagination. It also has the power, like to like have like some sort of infection, not a bad infection, but like the thing is, according to the knowledge I've known about them, is that beyond imaginers get close. Whenever they get close and attached and grow to care for other people that have different powers, or the same powers as them, they grew to have the same powers as others that they grow close to, and become more powerful. I'm the queen of the beyond imaginer ones. I create the queens of the single color ones. The thing is, like, the chance of the beyond single one to exist is if they are born the exact same date as my birthday. That's how rare they are. And how we can tell if the single ones are beyond ones is if, like, the thing is, a single one has full single color, but the other one, like, I mean, it looked like they had still the same color, but if you look closely to one of their eyes, for example, if there's a red one, and you see a violet purple eye on the other end, that is a sign that they are like a beyond single one, and they are super rare. The chance of them being born into the world is like 1,003.3% as well. It's the fact that they're only born on my birthday date. That's how rare they are as well. And if they give birth to other children, like the female ones give birth to other children, they won't be having like they won't be beyond single colored ones as the parent. But if they're born on my same birthday date, then there could be a chance that they'll be a single beyond one, just like their parents. But it depends on the second favorite color that they have. Every imaginer has a color, or more than one color, the color that they have, based on what colors is their favorite. The colors that they have that their favorite becomes part of them, like part of their powers, as well as like the single ones, including other, like including the beyond imaginer ones. How you can tell if they're beyond imagination is if one side of the hair and eyes is one color, and the other side of their hair and eye is a different color than the other side. They both have different. The thing is, a beyond one has two different colors on one side to the other of their hair and their eyes, and I have the same looks too. I already showed you in like what the hero me looks like, and my hair is part purple to your left and part pink to your right, and this one resembles the color of my abilities, including others too. And this globe right here represents anything. It represents any imaginer as well. And I created a group. I created a group that can help other imaginers, including other colonies of Steve's and Alex's, like the 7 colors, or other colony creations like sugar, fiction, mystery, Jacko and Techno, along with one that's a single and the only one, which is Virtual. Virtual Steve, the creator of all 5 of them. I created a group that is called the TIN group, which stands for the Imaginer Ninjas. Like, I made that short name for a short, made up those 3 letters for short from my group, because that's the way I can say, oh, the Imaginer Ninja group is coming soon to our place. No, I got smarter. I came up with a shorter thing by the beginning of the letters. I combined together and created the TIN group. It may seem like it's called the Tin group, but it's not really the Tin group. It's called the TIN group for a reason, because my group, I'm the leader of that group, even though I'm the queen of my own people, called the Imaginer Ninja group, and I created a kingdom of my own called the Beyond Imagination Kingdom. It's where I welcome any characteristic human being at all color and kind, like the 7 colors, or my people, the Imaginers, or Sugar, or the creations of Virtual, and Virtual himself, including the creations of Dream and Genesis, and the creators are welcome too. But the problem is that they're extinct now because of Void Steve and Dread. How Void Steve became Void in the first place is that Dread Steve corrupted Seer and Steve Legends, and he got so corrupted as the first hero, the first Rainbow Steve hero of the show, and became the first darkness to exist, according to the story, known as Void Steve. My picture fell. The time has grown by, as you can see in the picture, I have so many upgrades to my own character, like the characteristic me. I had different hero names. One is with my real name in Purple Pink, but I'm not going to say the real name. The second is GG Purple Pink Alex 5. But then, after that, I got more creative with my name. I decided to come up with a name that's unknown to others. Well, not to much people. I came up with a name called the Girl of Rights. I have more than one powers. I have the power of time, void, galaxy, 7 colors, especially the power of darkness, but I don't really use it much in my own stories. The thing is, I use it to fight against the Demon Steves whenever they come across my kingdom, or attack others that are creations of mine, and others that are different from my creations, like the 7 colors as well. And the thing is, there are similarities between me and these characters. I can prove it. I love to learn more about things that I'm interested in, and Red Steves, they're all about wisdom and knowledge. And it's exactly. Have you ever realized that the similarities is that they love to learn new things that they're interested in. I love to learn new things that I'm interested in too. I love creativity and to create my own stuff. And the orange Steves are about creativity, and they love to create things like I do. I can be energetic and hyper, like I'm 12 years old, even though I'm older. Just like the Steves are, I can run very fast. Well, depends on the fact that if I can make myself run faster. And with the green one, I love to help others and make sure that they're doing okay. And the green Steves are about health. The yellow Steves are about energy. I'm energetic. And the green ones are about healing and helping people as health. And my powers can do the exact same thing as well. And I love ghostly spirits and spiritual worlds. Just like and blue Steves are spiritual. I can be spiritual too, but in a different way. And I can connect to different dimensions and other places, like Indigo Steves too. And I'm lovable to others, even if it's a random stranger sometimes, just like Violent Steves do. It's pretty obvious the similarities to here. I thought about that too. It's quite the coincidence, the fact that all of these are like somehow related to who I am. I mean, it is true. Because I've been watching the show for long enough, and I've seen the whole entire series too. I've seen from episode 1 to all the way to the end of the show. So the fact that when Saber had to work together to reset the time to a time before the Steves existed. And the time before they existed, it shows a great place with flowers on there, like grasslands, like this place. It was Saber using that sword thing that Origin Steve gave him and to create him, and he's confused on who created him, and Saber introduced himself and told Origin Steve everything. After that event happened, Hypno Steve, Origin, Saber, and Time completely disappeared and went missing without a trace. And let's go to the future of Twisted Rainbow. It's a show about Saber that goes into a lot of trouble. A new him. He's not really the same Saber at all that we've known. He's a variant version of Saber that actually was created after Saber saved the world of the Steves in the Rainbow Quest multiverse. While saving the world ends up in consequences. He ended up creating a new world at the same time in the process. And the new him has to face a bunch of challenges by seeing the Twisted Rainbow infectious people and facing the darkness as well. And it grew to be angry as well and be manipulated by the first curse, the version of the first curse from that multiverse. And he told him once in the episode that the old him was destroyed. It is true, because in the Rainbow Quest world, the unnamed that we knew that's RQ related in the show was defeated by Light Steve when he became Light Rainbow Steve. But the thing is, what happened to the shards? It's a big mystery of what happened to the crystal shards, too. According to Steve Legends, the crystals were 7 kings that risked their lives to become the crystals. And during the future, they were used by the leaders to protect themselves and their people from the darkness, before the darkness was ever defeated as well. At the same time, it came with more consequences. The group, known as the Corrected Sun. The Corrected Sun was a group of armored people. It was like yellow armor. And some of the colorless guards betrayed Light and Saber by becoming part of this group. And they make the other Steves fear the Blue and Indigo Steves. Into some sort of racism situation. The thing is, the Yellows started to treat Blue and Indigo like there's some sort of threats. Just because Void Steve was a Blue Steve named Seer, and Soul and Corruption were also a Blue and Indigo as well. And they were actually treating them like garbage, but Saber stood up for them. And one episode when a guard was going to be put in jail because he revealed his face by Soul, a Blue Steve and Indigo Steve went in front of him and stood up for him. That proves that not all Blue and Indigo Steves are bad people. So some of them can be, but not all of them can be. Some can be good guys, and some can be bad guys. I mean, it's true. Any color of these thieves can be bad guys, but also in the good side too, by one at a time. It doesn't matter what color skin that they have. What matters is that they're all the same kind of species, but differently. Different colors, different powers, different religions as well. That's what the Yellow Thieves did not understand. That it wasn't the case for the Yellow Thieves, on the other hand, because they were treating Blue and Indigo like they were some sort of threat. Even though, like, two of them in the future after that stood up for a Yellow Thief that stood up against Soul and took off his helmet and told everyone to not do it. See, that can prove in the real life world we can't judge people by their skin color. And because people hate what they don't understand. That's the truth. People exactly hate what they do not understand, not even once. What I'm trying to say is that we should treat each other equally, because the show, when the Indigo and Blue were treated differently than the rest of them, can show awareness, spread awareness out into the real life world. That racism is not a better option. We can communicate and talk to each other and get to know somebody and be in their shoes before you think bad about them and think that, oh my gosh, you people are criminals. That's not true at all. Not even once at all. The person that I admire that raised that awareness is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. as well. He was a man that always that wanted to create peace as well. The two things that got him to want to create that kind of peace was between people with white skin and people with brown or black skin. Is the fact that they weren't welcome in a shoe store because of their color. Well, not really. People wanted them to move because they're in the white section. And the second thing is that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., when he was a kid, he got separated from his best friend by going to a different school where people with the exact same skin tone, color, of race, like his, go to. And that is what got him to, as a determination, to be determined to make sure that there is equality between people of all races and all differences. So he started to speak speeches about the world out there. I mean, he faced many threats. He faced jail time, threats by other people, like physical threats as well, including the threats when he joined a group that helped out to make people aware of this kind of racism situation as well. Yep, he died at such a young age, being shot at a hotel. He was a great inspiration too. But just because he was gone, the people that were inspired by him did not give up on spreading awareness. People continue to spread awareness to the fact that racism is wrong and that we shouldn't be judging others or separating them just because of their difference of their skin color. And as time grew by, that all the segregation laws were removed and became illegal. That's right, it took for one single person to spread awareness to a lot of other people for them to say, no, enough is enough. I'm tired of this. I don't want this anymore. You know what I mean? And the story of the Indigo and Blue Thieves can spread that awareness because of the fact that they faced racism from Yellow Thieves. And because of that part, and the reason why is because of, like I said, Void, Soul, and Corruption were Blue Indigo Thieves. that were bad people and became part of the darkness. But soul and corruption, it wasn't really their fault. They were affected by darkness. They were corrupted. They were controlled against their will as well, including Seer himself, because he was corrupted by Dread. But it's completely Dread's fault, to be honest. If he didn't corrupt Seer, then none of the bad stuff in the future would happen as well. But sometimes things happen. We just gotta learn how to deal with it, even if it hurts. Especially with me too. I face a lot of hardships that they've gone through as well. I mean, especially, I've heard about and seen, like, in videos and heard about from my parents and a lot of things about hardships in real life too. And, I don't like it when people mistreat each other in both real life and the worlds of fantasy. I just don't. Not even once. Either side. Whether it's real life or this. I don't like criticism or like anything like it's bad on either side. Rather if it's part of reality or part of something else that's not in reality. I don't like that either way. That's why I don't tolerate when I see people treat each other with disrespect as well. So I became a character of my own called the Girl of Rights, because usually I think to myself like about the fact that I imagine myself doing the right thing for others in real life and other things I enjoy as well. Especially the show that I've loved watching a lot, with the characters that explain so much about who I am with my personality. Right? It's quite including Time Steve too. I like art, just like he does. It's pretty obvious as well. And the baking cookie thing I've been inspired of because of Time himself. In the show, the beginning of it was very funny. It said, "Cookie with Time, Steve, let's look in this oven." And there's like a skull in there, a wither skull, and it said, "Oh." I mean, I like that trailer better than the animation one. I mean, I like the animation, it's just that it's brutal and it's dark. It just seems like Time murdered Saber and then cooked him into food. That's pretty disturbing, I'm not gonna lie. And there's a skull that showed, like, Saber's hair, his colored hair. That was pretty disturbing, I'm not gonna lie. I can tell Saber saw it too. I seen his video of him watching that exact video as well. When I saw that animation, I'm like, okay, I like the original trailer, like the Minecraftish one, better than the animation, because it looks too dark. I'm not gonna lie. Way too dark. I'm not laughing because it's dark, I'm laughing because of the fact that my opinion about it. Like, you know what? The original trailer is better, and way better than the animation trailer. Oh man. And like I was saying about the future of Twisted Rainbow, is that unfortunately Time Steve did not go around forever, because the variant version of the Unnamed from the Arc universe and the TW, which is Twisted Rainbow universe, found Time Steve and absorbed him, his power, and pretended to be him in the beginning. But for some reason, Saber already knew who he was the entire time. I mean, he got bamboozled. He just tricked himself. He thought like, oh, he doesn't know me. But then when he revealed himself, Saber went in psychotic mode and laughed out loud and said, "I already know who you are." It was funny, I'm not gonna lie. But when I heard him laughing that hysterically, I'm like, oh my gosh, he lost it. It's pretty crazy, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I didn't like the fact that he became part of the bad side. I mean, I do like the fact that the RQ version of him was a good guy. and started to help all the 7 thieves in the rainbow. Yes, he faced hardships. He faced accusation of other thieves because of the fact that he once was accused, he was controlled by darkness. It wasn't really his fault when he destroyed innocent thieves. It was the fault of Void Steve himself by creating a shadow called Shadow Saber as well. And when I saw him betray Saber in one episode, I'm like, I'm just not happy with that. I'm not really happy with that as well. To the point that it comes to the fact that Saber once locked his shadow up inside his own brain. I'm not kidding. He locked his own mind. He locked his own shadow up inside his own head, his own brain, and left him there. And at first he was like, no, don't do it, don't do it. And he considered it. Saber was pretty sure that was the right thing to do. And he left Shadow there to be trapped in there for a long time. But he escaped once the world was falling apart. Like, after the curse was damaging the world. It was like eating it up inside. It's like, oh, yummy world. I'm just being funny by saying that. But also explaining about the fact that in the condition of the whole world before Saber, Time, Hypno, and Origin worked together to save the world by resetting the time, back in the fact that before the thieves ever existed. That's right, before Cole, Seer, Shark, Beef, Spark, like all those characters ever existed, including the Red King, with the other kings too. Back then it was just like white stuff and it was created. The world was created. And when Saber appeared, he used the star to reincarnate Origin. And he was there, recreated. I wonder why he had to recreate Origin to save that world. I mean, now I'm curious to know that. And there's a new show coming up. I don't know when. Then, like nowadays, the shows that Saber put into public takes a long time to put in there because him and the staff team worked very hard to make it like cinema related, like very good. The show was very good. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I was upset at the fact that the whole world ended because of Saber, or the version of Saber. But at the same time, the graphics and the animations too, and the actions and the way they speak as well, all of it combined together was just very good as well. It was super good to the point that it looks cinema related. I mean, people from movie theaters should hire him to making the show as a movie. I mean, let me know your comments if you think it's a good idea. So that's all it for today. I hope you enjoyed, and I'm sorry I've been gone for a couple of days. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then make sure you defeat that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification button, so that way you won't miss any videos I post as well. I'm your host, Girl of Rights, and I'll see you in another anything video. Bye.